Hey, everybody, and welcome to week 14 edition of the Maddog and Pino show. For those of you watching video, you can see how excited Pino is for this podcast. Anyway, how you doing tonight, Pino? Dare I ask?
Cutelettes for everybody. You can't buy a cutelette in Jersey. I'm doing well. How are you? Your tree looks great.
Thank you. Yeah.
I expected it this week.
Again, happy holidays, everyone.
Decorated like I'm fucking at Macy's on Fifth Avenue.
You know what? We do it right around the Carey household.
Yeah, you sure do. And like even you got like the lamp in the background, like it's a very valuable gift.
Fragile. Exactly. I think that won't be the first.
You'll shoot your eye out.
It won't be the first last Italian reference we hear on this podcast.
We should have recorded this thing. Like we should have went on the road to Satrielli's.
All right. So
you want to lay your hands on, or give her your last name? Until then, you keep your hands in your pocket. I'm old school.
I'm just gonna dive in, man.
Go.
All right. So I've been I'm gonna warn our listeners. This podcast may go off for like 2 hours on the fucking Giants, but anyway,
we got some.
And you know what? They probably deserve 20 minutes or something, but not 2 hours. But anyway,
they probably deserve 3 hours. Look, we got angel hair.
Anyway, Pino brought snacks, not for me, of course, but anyway. All right, so and this fits with what is going to be kind of like the focus of the podcast. This is the year of the backup QB, and not in the ways that you may think. And like we'll get into the ones that are doing well, the ones that are doing bad, but literally, I think, and this is I didn't like look this up or anything. I kind of counted in my own head, but next week when Herbert doesn't start, because
he had surgery,
Justin Herbert, he's done for the year. It will be 17 teams that has started, not like played a backup quarterback, started a backup quarterback. That's fucking crazy. Like that shows you how important that position is, right? Like if you really think you're a playoff team, like you need to get someone in that position that at least can step in for 4 games. And if it's out for the season, then like that's a whole different story.
Yeah, you need somebody who lives in Cedar Grove, and the mom makes the bed.
Exactly.
And vodka bolognese. That's a backup quarterback.
So I listed just again. This is all from like the top of my head.
Your notes are so copious. It's crazy.
But I listed what I thought were the good backup quarterbacks and the bad backup quarterbacks, and the ones that are kind of other. So
it's like the good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah, exactly. And it kind of depends on the week as I was going through it. But all right, so the good were the first few weeks of Josh Dobbs. Gardner Minshew, right? Yeah, the pastronaut. Gardner Minshew, Jake Browning. We're going to talk about him. He's playing out of his head. Joe Flacco, holy fucking shit, man! You can still sling the ball at 39 years old.
Coming off the couch.
Tommy DeVito, of course.
No! Hey! As we did the stand, I just wanted to do that.
And Drew Luck made look decent yesterday or whatever Sunday. The bad Josh Dobbs the last couple of weeks. Mitch Trubisky, I'll throw him in the bag because he looked like shit on fucking Thursday, and we'll get into that. And then the other category is all these guys who kind of played but didn't do anything, but maybe could do something. Like Zach Wilson suddenly had his best game of his career, like in the second half last year. Last week.
Right.
Tyson.
Yeah, they scored 30 points, right?
In one half. It's crazy. Tyrod Taylor, like I don't know if he's good or bad, but like he lost his job to fucking Tommy DeVito.
So think about that guy's career. He lost his job because he got like the team physician inadvertently punctured his lung. Exactly. Trying to give it a shot of steroids, I guess, like before kickoff. So then he was out there, and now Tommy D's come in taking his job.
Exactly. So. Poor Tyrod Taylor, man.
But he's been in the league for like fucking 15 years.
Yeah,
right?
he's made some money.
Probably made $50 million.
Well, he actually did get a decent contract from the Bills. He like it wasn't like today's starting quarterback numbers, but he did okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jameis Winston, of course, and Aiden O'Connell, or whatever his name is in Las Vegas. We can talk about that later. But anyway, the point is like look how many fucking backup quarterbacks started. Like, it's like nuts.
I think the number I heard was like it's literally like over 60 quarterbacks.
That have played this
year.
Yeah, and that includes garbage time and some other shit.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's almost 2 per team. I mean,
right.
So it's crazy. So that's kind of all I had in opening remarks. I know you want to get into it. So what else do you?
Opening remarks. The only thing I had, like, I wanted to like get into the, turning on like the pregame shows drive me fucking crazy.
I thought you loved them.
Other than Playmaker.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, but when they, what's striking to me is when they throw it out to every sideline reporter on every game site, it's always a woman.
You mean the ones making it up?
Yeah, those ones, and everything is like, well, yeah, we gotta make sure we protect the ball. We don't turn it over. We need to convert in the end zone. We need to be efficient in the red zone. Like, oh, no shit, really? Oh, fucking thanks for that insight.
Yeah, it's and
then the other thing, opening remarks on pregame. Why the fuck is Gronk on TV?
Well,
he's an idiot
because he's jealous of Travis Kelce. He's getting more commercial money than he is.
Right. And by the way, so the Kelce, and that's okay. That's my last opening comment.
Right.
I think it was probably on the Fox pregame. They did a whole deal on like Jason Kelce recorded a Christmas song.
Oh, okay.
Like it was like Eagles Christmas 2.0, and they were like, "Oh, he fucking
was it the Super Bowl shuffle?
He made up the melody and this, that." Like, these two motherfuckers need to go away.
Well, I mean, it's kind of the law of average or whatever. Father Time. It's going to happen pretty soon for the older one for sure.
And the last thing on that, they asked Belichick. Like, apparently Belichick was asked about like, what about are they playing the Chiefs next week?
I don't know.
They may be.
I don't know.
And asked him about like Taylor Swift or like in Kelce.
He's like, who?
And he's like, we're just getting ready for the next game.
All right. So that I thought we'd structure this, how I try to theme it, Mike.
Maddog rolls this show.
So
look at this. Like, I feel like I'm in like
you're in like
Tommy Senior's house at Cedar Grove. Forgot about it.
All right, I'm gonna
myself a gun.
There were a lot of great games this weekend, and we're gonna get into all of them. But I thought I'd roll with the backup quarterback theme, and that'll give both Mike. I'm sorry, Mike. I'm getting very formal. Pino and me an opportunity.
Maybe you call me Michael.
An opportunity to talk about our team. So I'm gonna go first because I just want to get it out of the way. This goes all, and it's chronologically in order. It's in my ESPN feed in order. So it's like,
that was Thursday night, right?
So this is Thursday night. So
that's always a tough one for us.
The Patriots 21 at the Steelers 18. And it's we always have a Tomlin game every year, and like that was last week when they lost to Arizona at home. So I was really kind of expecting it to be like
a bounce back, right?
Yeah, a bounce back, and it just wasn't. The Patriots, who scored literally, I looked it up. They scored 1 touchdown since November 6th. one touchdown against the Giants, by the way.
Well, they lost that game, right?
Exactly. And they scored 3 touchdowns in 20 minutes in this game against our defense at home. So like the Boo Birds came out, and Mitch Trubisky looked like shit in the first half, and
Trubisky started?
Yeah, he started because Pickett's got.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah. Right.
So that's what back.
Oh yeah, the crowd was cheering for like
Mason Rudolph, exactly. So,
and I was confused,
which I actually wouldn't mind seeing at this point.
And I was confused him for like the Mason Reese guy from back in the 70s, like the late, like I think he ate like bubble gum and Pop Rocks, and like it blew up his stomach. Like that was like
the Mikey.
Yeah, the Mikey guy.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, I don't know how that's relevant, but anyway, but all right. So here's the thing. So now it's really the entire Steeler fan base, at least, and I think some of the national media a little bit is now turned and said like, all right, is Tomlin lost this team, and is he the right guy to coach this team going forward? And I don't know the answer to either one of those questions right now, which is like the first time in 17 years I haven't had the answer to that question.
Really? Because I've always known you to have an answer.
No, because no, it was a rhetorical question.
But anyway,
rhetorical. But anyway, they have players quitting on the field. They have players throwing tantrums when they don't get the ball. They have, their defense is like getting Bailey Zappi threw for 200 yards in the first half against our defense.
Oh, that was fucking Zappi. All right.
So they're clearly not prepared, and they're not doing the things so it's kind of symptomatic of someone losing their team. And I don't want to say it, but it just seems like it does get stale. Like it got stale for Andy Reid in Philadelphia. He's still a great coach.
Mm-hmm.
It just may be time, man. I hate to say that. And I'm sure the argument that he'll get hired in 5 seconds. Yeah, he will. He definitely will. He's a good coach, but he just may not be the right coach for the Steelers anymore. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I had all these emotions on Thursday, and I'm like, I thought I'd like retract them, and I'm like, you know what? I can't retract them. Honestly.
But is it on him or is it on the talent that they've given him?
There's plenty of talent on. There's
and
plenty of talent.
You know what the biggest indictment of him is? That who was the receiver that quit on that?
Pickens.
We talked about it last week.
Yeah, Pickens. Oh no. Well, it's either it depends on the
Deontay
week.
Johnson.
Yeah,
right. He didn't run the route. The fucking ball was fumbled right next to him. He didn't attempt to.
Even Herb Street on the broadcast, he's like, you know what? A sign of like whether like a team's really like ready to play or not is like you look at the wide receivers, and Pickens like totally took a play off. Wasn't even fucking blocking his guy.
Right. Did he talk about like it's like where his eyes were?
No, he didn't. And
that's shocking.
And then Al Michaels, who obviously is, he comes in and is like, yeah, that's just awful. So like even announcers are noticing like the team is like,
like the standard's not the standard anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. So you know what? That said, this is Tomlin's test, man. He could. We're still the number 6 seed in the fucking AFC.
Right, you still make the playoffs, right?
So they got to win. They got to win 2, probably 3 games to get in the playoffs out of the last 4, and they certainly didn't look like they could do that the last 2 weeks. So anyway, that's all.
If they only need to win 2 games to make the playoffs,
well, that would put them at 9-8. I don't know if that gets them in or not.
That's mediocrity.
Yeah, well, that's the definition of the Steelers the last fucking 8 years. So, all right, another backup quarterback game going all the way to the other side. So we went Thursday night. Chronologically, we're going to go to Monday night.
Talking about number 15.
The Packers 22 at the Giants 24. That's all I'm going to say. All right. Well, I'll tee it up a little bit.
Anyhow, we'll move on. No, are you fucking kidding me? The fucking the agent. Like I don't even know where to start with this. Right, so 3 weeks ago, I was like, all right, let's just lose out.
Yeah.
Right, and we'll get Caleb Williams.
Yeah, you're definitely not in the Caleb Williams.
So that's not happening. Now maybe they're going to be, they could, if they win out, they'll be in the playoffs.
It could, yeah.
They could be, right?
Yeah.
They got the Goomba and the 300 Italianos from Cedar Grove fucking out. But you can't make up the agent.
Yeah, so
with the fedora. So what I want to know is like if you go to Giant Shop on NFL.com,
can you buy the fedora?
Can you buy the fedora? And
if you will order, soon.
And if you order the fedora, do you get like the Italian horn?
And do you get it by Christmas?
Like if you put in the code, and do you get the Italian horn for free? And if you go to ShopRite in Jersey right now, can you buy any cutlets? I think the cutlets are probably all fucking sold out.
All right. Do you mind if I talk about the game for 2 seconds?
Yeah, no, talk about it. Like he made great throws.
So the game was actually well played. Jordan Love did not play a good first half, but I think that had a lot to do with the Giants' defense. The Giants were more physical than them the whole game.
Thibodeau's coming on.
They were more physical than the Packers and punched them in the mouth. And I think the Packers didn't quite know what to do until the second half. And then they did like make a game of it, mostly because
they were gifted. And I felt bad for Saquon, Sasquatch.
You know what? I think when I watch that live, I'm like, how isn't that a tackle, right? So if
dude, we can go we're gonna have to talk about the refs.
So no, here's the thing though. Literally, if he tripped, didn't fumble, gets up and runs the ball into the end zone,
they would have called him down.
They would have called him down. So I think it's just a bullshit call.
And
anyway,
even before that, the Packers touched, they had to review it.
Yeah.
And Aikman was like, "Yeah, I think that's a touchdown." I forget. It was in the third quarter. And whoever the receiver was, like, it was like knocked out of his hands. Like, why are we even fucking reviewing this?
Exactly. But then on the next play, this is after the Saquon fumble. Jordan Love threw it like that whole play was awesome. Like literally, he threw a perfect like pass. The guy actually caught it. He ran over the fucking ref at the pylon.
Right, like the ref who got run over at the pylon called it a touchdown.
It doesn't matter, dude. They're going to review it anyway. So it was a touchdown, and it was a great play. And then Danny fucking Tommy DeVito.
Yeah, you was calling Danny Dimes.
It fucking literally plays like with the utmost of poise and drives them into field goal rhythm. Field goal
range.
Fucking range.
Let's call it range.
Field goal range. To fucking win the game. I was like blown away.
And they brought up the fat kicker, number 46.
Yes, they did.
Who he would like to wear his pantalones as high as your guy in Pittsburgh does, Boswell.
Yeah.
But he's just too heavy, so he can't. So they're like kind of down around his knees. But dude, that was unbelievable. And everything I've read today, like he walked in the huddle and said, "All right, let's go win the game."
So I don't. I'm sure you saw it, but the interview after the game, he's like, "Yeah, well, someone,
it's like, playing this game since I was 5."
Exactly, the softball questions that they always ask. But he's like, how didn't you like crumble over the pressure of the moment? He's like, this is a kid's game. I've been playing it since I was 5.
Right.
Competition's a little bit better, but it's like the same thing I've been doing for fucking 20 years.
He was fucking nails on the drive.
He was, and he rushed for 71 yards. I didn't know he had that in him. Like honestly, so all right. So here's
the biggest thing is he didn't get sacked last night.
Which
like for the last 2 weeks, he's got sacked like 180,000 times.
I know, but you know what? That actually shows progression,
right? No, well, that's exactly right.
And like getting sacked is way better than fucking throwing a pick. You know
right.
what I mean?
Dude, he has no turnovers.
So here's the like literally. This, I'm sure we didn't do it to the same degree because it was the 49ers, but literally, when Brock Purdy started for the 49ers midway through last season,
fuck that, we don't care.
He had like 3 great games and people were like, there's like this won't have, it's a system. This fucking shit won't have, like, it's not going to last. And now we're talking about Brock Purdy being an MVP. So my question is it possible that like, just like it happened for the 49ers, that the fucking, like, literally Tommy DeVito fell out of the sky for the fucking Giants that no one else saw, and it could be your fucking quarterback.
That's what I'm thinking. Because I will tell you this, with the Giants, there is no fucking system.
right.
So there's no fucking system. But the fact that he, like, to your point, when I said he didn't get sacked,
yeah,
he has progressed every week.
Yeah, I would agree.
Which is fucking crazy.
Yeah, and he does throw a good ball. I mean, there's no problem with his arm talent. I know it's a cliche or whatever,
his physicality.
But his eyes.
What about his physicality and his length?
His eyes.
What about his length? Is he playing downhill or uphill? Dude, like you can't, like, I'm like, I would like to talk about it more, but I can't, like, because you can't even make it up.
No, seriously,
you cannot make the shit up. Like, and that section 201, wherever the fuck, wherever the family is, with the agent and the agent kissing the dad on the cheek.
He still lives at home.
Hey, it's a Giants house. Hey, the fucking Giants suck. Whoa,
whoa. Oh,
you know, his old man thinks like Friday nights for the wives, Saturdays for the goodbyes.
Oh man! All right,
but the fact that they fucking won that game, like,
listen, and the Packers are playing
after
really
the
well.
Packers scored, I thought like,
I didn't think there was any chance.
I thought like, they'll probably win this game.
I did not. I really didn't. I'm like, there was a good go, and like, great for Tommy DeVito and great for the Giants, but like, all right, they just now they're going to pick in the top 10.
Right, but so what if they rip off the next 2?
I don't. Who do they have? Do you know?
Saints and Philly. Like they got Saints, Phillies, Rams, and then Philly. They close with Philly.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough.
Philly can be had. Dude, don't beat the fucking Saints. The fucking Saints.
I know. I just
Okay.
So whatever.
Anyhow, fucking G-Man. Like, did you see? Like, there was one point. I think it was the fourth quarter. There was like a little kid. He was probably 6 years old. Right. They showed him in the stands. He had his jeans hoodie on, and he's like, after DeVito threw a big completion, he's like, I'm like, fucking Jersey Shore is about to get a big bump. Like I don't know what SAG negotiated relative to like streaming rights and all that kind of shit, but like Snooki and JWoww and The Situation, they're all about to get paid.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. All right, let's move on, man. Is that okay?
Yeah. I'll tell you what.
Oh, Jesus.
They win next week.
I shouldn't ask if it was okay.
No, they win next week. Fuck it.
God, you guys will beat the Saints for sure.
For sure we will.
I'll get to them. They're kind of a disaster to watch. I watched some of that game. All right. Anyway, so continuing on, I know there's big games. I know that you guys are listening. You can fast forward if you want, but I'm going to continue on the backup quarterback theme. All right. So the Jaguars, 27.
Oh, I love how you said that because that's how everyone says it.
At the Browns, 31. And this is all about Joe Flacco, man. Holy shit. Joe Flacco was sitting on his couch 3 weeks ago. They give him a call. It's an offense he knows how to run. He eventually, steps in like 3 weeks ago because someone got hurt, I guess. DTR got hurt. And then he starts the next 2 games. He threw for 300 yards, 3 TDs. This guy's thrown for 5 TDs in the last 2 games.
Off the couch.
At
38 years old.
How many? You want to know how many touchdowns Kenny Pickett has this year in 13 games?
Not that many.
6.
Not that many.
6. Anyway,
this he doesn't have any more than Tommy DeVito does.
He does. He definitely doesn't. Not even close. So anyway, Trevor Lawrence, I got to give him a lot of credit. Like he had a high ankle sprain, and I'm sure there's different grades of that shit or whatever, but like. High ankle sprain usually means you're out for like at least a couple of weeks. Like right. Kenny Pickett has a high ankle sprain. He got surgery. He's out for like 4 weeks. So, but he powered through it and played. And maybe he shouldn't have. Like he threw.
Yeah, I can't understand what's up with him. Like because they showed him from the week before when his ankle got hurt.
Yeah,
and like the controversy was around like, hey, why didn't they get him a cart?
Oh,
right, like he was walked out the tunnel, like and it looked like he was about like he got shot.
Oh no, like really? I didn't catch that.
No, you got to watch that. Like it was as if he was in Afghanistan. Like he's fucking like, and then he's playing 4 days later.
Yeah, so I mean, it was gutsy. I mean, he threw 3 interceptions. He did bring him back at the end, but like it just was too little, too late. But anyway, the Browns with Joe Flacco, like seriously, I can't believe I'm saying this out loud, but the Browns with Joe Flacco, I'm telling you, they can win a playoff game at least.
They can probably win a division, right? I hate to say it to you.
No, they won't. But they won't win the division. But they'll.
Why not?
I think they'll get it because they're 2 games back at least, maybe 3. But they could win. They could get to the whatever. It doesn't matter what it is, a 5 seed, 6 seed, or 7 seed. Okay. They could go on the road and beat someone. I'm telling you right now, with Joe Flacco playing quarterback in that defense. So let's keep it in my division. Let's move on to 2 backup quarterbacks. So the Colts lost 14 at the Bengals 34, and it was
that was surprising, right? Kind of
a little bit.
The gap, like the spread was.
Yeah, like, no. The game was like really close. Like, and then it just like Cincinnati's defense. I can't believe I'm talking about them. Just like shut down Indianapolis second half. They had punt, interception, turnover, and downs in their first 4 drives. But the interesting thing about this, it was 2 backup quarterbacks. It was Gardner Minshew and Jake Browning. And they actually had played against each other before.
Did you see the Apple Cup?
Exactly.
Right, the Apple Cup.
Exactly.
Washington versus on the Palouse.
Washington versus Washington State.
On the Palouse.
So they had a little rivalry going, and Browning said, "I whipped your ass when I was at UW."
And Minshew was like, "Hey, I fucking took a hammer to my right hand so I could transfer." And then I grew a mustache.
Yeah, that's old history.
And by the way, my guy won the Heisman. Oh no, he didn't.
All right, so there's one more backup quarterback game of the week. I might as well just get to it. All right, the Seahawks.
Who did play?
16 to the 49ers 28. So the Seahawks at the last minute said Geno Smith can't play, so Drew Lock, you're in.
And then it was just like Debo. Whoa.
But honestly, Drew Lock like against the 49ers. Look what fucking happened to Philadelphia and Dallas. I mean, like he kept them right in the game.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, it was 21-16 in the fourth quarter. And then then it's just like they have so many weapons. I had to write this down. All right, so Brock Purdy threw for 368 yards, which is a career high. Christian McCaffrey ran for 145. Deebo Samuel had 149 yards receiving, and Ayuk had 126 yards receiving. Like, there's just too many weapons on that.
How many yards did Boss Guys get?
I don't. You know, it's funny you bring that up because I don't know, and I was going to look it up, and I'm like,
Alito Shuffle had to lead.
I think he's going to he might start getting a little pissed. You know what I mean?
I think Boss Guys might do the national anthem for their playoff game.
All right, that's all I have for backup quarterbacks. I'll go to the games of the week.
Are there any more games?
Yeah, we got plenty more games. We're going to go to the games of the week. All right. So the game of the week.
We're going to talk about the Giants again.
No. There's two, arguably, two games of the week. One was the Eagles 13 at the Cowboys 33. The Cowboys dominated. Literally, they kind of ran the old Steelers playbook. I'm sure there's other teams that have done it, but literally, let's run to throw. So the first drive, they just ran it down the fucking Eagles' throat, and then from that point forward, the fucking it just opened up for them. And this game wasn't even close, to be honest.
No, it wasn't, never.
And the weapon that I can't believe I'm going to say this, but the weapon we don't ever talk about for a who is now the number 2 seed in the NFC.
Tommy DeVito?
No, is the kicker. This guy kicked a 60-yarder, a 57-yarder, a 51-yarder. When you have that kind of kicker in your team, it changes your entire view of play calling, right? It's 3rd and 7 at the 40. Fuck it, let's take a shot.
But how high are his pants?
I don't know.
That's what I want to know.
So a lot of we included a little bit, but it's more the national media. They've been saying, well, we haven't seen the Eagles' best football yet. I'm like, maybe we've seen the Eagles' best football.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right.
Because they haven't played their quote-unquote best football through 14 weeks, so I think we've seen it. You know what I mean?
As a tuna used to say, you are what your record is.
Right, exactly.
You are who you are. And I would love nothing better. I've made it well known. I don't like that fucking Sirianni.
Yeah, well, yeah. Listen, they're in the playoffs for sure. It's just and they have a much easier schedule than the Cowboys have, so it's going to get interesting.
No, they're going to play the Giants twice.
That's what I mean. You mean the hottest team in the NFL? I'm sorry.
You're calling that the easiest schedule? I think that's the hardest one in the NFL. I'm just playing.
All right, let's move on to the next game of the week.
Okay.
The Bills 20 at the Chiefs 17.
I think we should spend time on this game.
I think we should too. Yeah. So I'll start it with this. It was a tough week for Sean McDermott. He got someone timed a press release to make it even seem worse.
Yeah,
for the
he's
Bills.
Probably like a fucking terrorist, I guess.
And he apparently in 2019, which is 4 years ago, said something about the terrorists were
they stuck
together and they were communicating, and that's a good example of good communication, which he immediately retracted.
I thought we couldn't get political on this show.
This isn't political. I'm just saying,
fucking Sean Hannity.
I'm saying what he fucking said. Just saying what he said.
I know.
Which honestly was 4 years ago, and he didn't. Anyway, he apologized right after, but it came out this week, so I felt bad for the guy, to be honest. But there's people saying, is Sean McDermott going to get fired over this? First of all right, now I'm going to get a little,
how about the president?
Political, or at least you don't get fired for shit you said 4 years ago and apologize right after. That's fucking bullshit. Anyway, so I'm glad for Sean McDermott to keep the team together and play the game they played. It was a really low scoring game. It was 14-7 at halftime. And then the game got cray. Yeah. So all right. So I think it was 17-14. And then
tell you this, this angel hair is fucking awesome.
Jesus Christ. All right. Anyway, so There was a play that Josh Allen made on the last Bills drive. I think. Jesus Christ! Just
I love when you say Jesus Christ. Like that's when you've had enough of me.
So anyway, it was like an amazing play. Like two guys running in his face. He just was about to step out of bounds. He threw a ball down, and they kicked the field goal to go up 27.
Oh, that was the one where was his heel out?
Yeah, it was
yeah, that was crazy.
So just like I don't think there's anyone, maybe Mahomes, but I don't think there's anyone else who can make.
Or as they like to say now, no one on the planet could make that play.
Right.
That's the new thing, by the way, for analysts.
Right.
No one on the planet. There's only 2 people on the planet could make that play.
Someone's got to up the ante. Right. No one in the universe can make that play.
Other than Tommy DeVito.
But, listen, the Bills fans will know this. They left them 1:54. So that means, I don't know, I didn't do the math, but that means they could score like 80 points.
Hey, you know me. I'm always trying to carry the one and I'm solving for the X and I never can do it. But I was like, fucking another heartbreaker.
Exactly.
Heartbreaker, dream maker, love taker, don't you mess around with me.
So the Chiefs.
You finish it.
All right. So the Chiefs drive down. They're on the move. They have, I think it's first down. Maybe it's second down. Anyway, they call this play, which they've obviously been working on for fucking ever. And they throw the ball to Kelsey for literally, it wasn't a short pass. It was like 25, 30 yards downfield. And Kelsey makes a quote unquote football move, runs like 4 or 5 steps, and then throws a lateral to Kadarius Toney, who walks into the end zone. Yeah, exactly. Who walks in the end zone. So literally, and I think there was only 30 seconds left.
The game was over.
Yeah. So the game would have been over in all likelihood. And so everyone's, the Bills fans are losing their mind. Sean McDermott is losing his mind.
Fuck, we go again.
And then there's a yellow
laundry.
Flag.
There's laundry.
Yellow flag on the field. So if you're a football fan, you're going through all right, what could it be? It could be like a pick, maybe there's a pick on the play, maybe there's offensive or defensive pass interference. Nope. Nope. It was offsides. On
Kadarius Toney
on
lined
the
up.
Offense. so then all hell breaks loose. Fucking Patrick Mahomes loses his mind. Andy Reid loses his mind.
Yeah, it was Andrew Reid. That's what he was. He was Andrew Reid in the punt, pass, and kick.
Right. Literally lose their mind. Yelling at the refs. How could you call that? And they did not have the benefit of the replay when they were yelling this. I don't know if it would have mattered, but literally he is, I don't know, almost a yard offsides. He's way offsides. It's not even fucking close, right? So there's been a lot to do about this call since then. But all right, so here's the way it's supposed to work. Apparently, if you're a wide
check, you look to the fucking line judge and you go am I good? Am I good? Am I not good?
And refs, if you're a blade of grass over the fucking line, they're not going to fucking call it. But he was so far off the fucking.
I don't care if it was. So yes. So here's what I don't understand about the controversy. I don't care if he was 2 blades of grass off. He was fucking offsides.
Yeah, but
whether they called it all day or whether they didn't, he was offsides.
He was definitely offside, right? Blatantly offsides.
Don't so the controversy has been all week or since that game around, hey, you don't call that with a minute and a half left in the game, you don't call that like that kind of thing. Well, then don't fucking put it, don't have it in the rule.
All right,
don't make it a rule.
Listen, 10 months ago, did they not win a Super Bowl on a
bullshit fucking holding
on
call?
A questionable call?
Right.
I mean, come on.
Exactly.
So for them to be the refs should call it this way, they never do that. Well, they never fucking call bullshit barely holding in the Super Bowl either. So anyway, this crying and whining about the fucking refs is just they are the new Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. They are.
And by the way,
expect to get every fucking call.
And they expect no one has any problem with a call where a defensive lineman's down and he moves his fucking head over the line, right. And hey, throw out the laundry. Oh yeah, okay, that's a good call. He lined up fucking offsides.
Yeah, no, honestly, it's fucking bullshit. So anyway, the Chiefs are actually in real trouble. I think they'll power through it, but Their offense is not scoring points.
Could it be crazy if like fucking Denver wins that division?
That would be funny. All right, let's go to. This wasn't a game out of the week on paper, but it turned out to be the game of the week.
Wait, we missed the fact that we didn't. What? We'd be remiss if we didn't cover it.
Oh yeah, Taylor was at the game.
She was there. Fuck her, they lost. I'm so glad
she was there, and yeah, she was young.
But they at least show like she was hanging out with like Clark Hunt's daughter.
Oh, she was?
Yeah, you know, like her.
That'd be interesting. Anyway. All right, the game of the week, the literally best game of the week
was Packers.
No, was the Rams 31 at the Ravens 37. So this game was just like crazy. Like you would have thought it would be like kind of a low scoring game. It's outdoors
because the weather, like the weather, like it rained off, like it was like torrential downpour, right?
And the Rams just came out and like said, "Fuck this, we're gonna like kick you in the mouth." And they literally were up all the whole first half, and I think the Ravens scored at the end of the first half. Anyway, it was 20-17. So this is what happened.
And they had cuckoo.
There were I'm going to count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ties or lead changes in the second half.
Wow, check that! You got them all circled and shit like that. Maddog is prepping like a motherfucker
because this game was crazy. So anyway, so Stafford like literally. Like the Rams just blow my mind. We agree.
And McVay is doing the best. Like he should be coach of the year.
I was gonna say, why isn't he coach of the year?
Yeah, he should be coach of the year. Yeah.
And I think the Rams could. I mean, they may be in competition with the Giants, but I think they might.
They're going to get their heart broken by the G-men.
I think they might make the playoffs. It's fucking crazy.
If they win in the Meadowlands,
and so this game, as crazy as it was, I'm not making this up. There was literally 6.
Let me go crazy over you.
In regulation, there was 6 fucking lead changes. Anyway, it got to overtime. Rams went 3 and out, so they're punting to the Ravens, and I forget his name, but anyway, he returns it. A great return, by the way.
Right,
returns it 70 yards for a touchdown. Game over. So
and for all the gamblers out there, like what was it? Wasn't it 6.5?
It was 7.5.
All right, so like you were good to go.
No, no, you. Like, for the Rams,
yeah right. Forget kicking the extra point, like it didn't matter, kind of thing, right?
So the Ravens are now like the number 1 seed.
Are they?
Yeah, right now they are. But their defense looks a little suspect, I gotta say. And Kyle Hamilton, who's like a great rookie for them, is now
they got a lot of injuries.
Is now out. So I don't know. Like I think they're beatable. But again, who in the AFC? Like suddenly the NFC's got like 3 dominant teams, or at least 2.
Well, I think they got 4. They got like Dallas, San Francisco, Philly,
and the Giants.
They got Philly, Dallas, San Francisco, and the Cutlets.
They should change their name.
Wouldn't it be great if there were the Cutlets?
And that's all you serve at the stadium?
You can't get a hot dog. You can't get a White Castle burger. All you get is a chicken parmesan sandwich.
All right, so I just classify the rest of these as other games.
Okay.
So here we go.
We're going to get into Artie Smith, right?
Yeah, right now. But,
when you get caught between the moon and New York City.
So the Buccaneers 29. I can't read my own writing. 29 at the Falcons 25.
They won.
Yeah, they did win. They definitely won. So listen, the only thing I wrote down on this is Baker Mayfield is like he doesn't have the stats, but he's a leader, and he's actually like leading that team to victory when he needs
You got to give him credit.
Yeah,
he fucking never quits.
You really do.
Like he could have quit. Like he could have just kept making progressive commercials.
Well, no, they probably not.
Well, yeah, well, because that's right, because he can't live in the Cleveland Stadium anymore. But yeah, no, like the fact that he came back in that game and won that game.
Yeah,
was impressive.
And who would have? All right, so
after his head coach was like, "Oh, we gave up."
Oh, I know.
Like when Todd Bowles was like, "Oh, we lost this fucking game."
Exactly. Mike Evans had 1 catch for 9 yards in this game. If I had to look at if I looked at that one stat and like had to guess who won the game,
you would have said no way.
There's no fucking way Tampa Bay won the game.
And like, who's the other receiver who, like, whose wife last week came out and was like, "Oh, he wasn't hurt. The coach is lying." Goodwin.
Oh, Godwin. Yeah.
Godwin. Whatever. But Baker's playing through that shit.
Yeah. Anyway, and Desmond. All right. So, like, again, coming back,
So
I hate to make
Carl and Tammy are still fired up, like that the dog is still named Baker.
Exactly. I hate to make it all about me, but like Desmond Ridder threw for 354 yards. You think Kenny Pickett has ever thrown for 354 yards? No. And guess who was drafted 3 rounds later? Well, all right. Let's just leave it.
Guess who wasn't drafted?
Exactly.
Tommy DeVito.
Exactly. Or Brock. The thing that kills me is the Steelers, like, literally drafted a quarterback in the 7th round the same year ahead of Brock Purdy, and it caught him like a week into camp.
Right?
Like, what the fuck?
But dude, like, no one knows that.
I know, but if you're gonna waste your pick on a quarterback, at least take
Tommy DeVito.
At least take fucking Tommy DeVito or fucking.
At least because you get that fucking agent coming to your building every day, like with the fedora.
That would be with some like presents,
like
in the bag. You
know who's the fucking assistant to that agent is The Situation. Like, that's his like assistant. The JWoww is fucking him. Like no, JWoww is blowing the general managers.
I can't wait to watch some more Jersey Shore.
Yeah, like that's gonna get a rejuvenated start.
All right, let's move on. Texans 6 at the Jets 30.
Shocker.
First of all, this game was 0-0 at halftime. So
I thought this was going to be the game that was going to be 0-0.
Exactly. I'm like,
I texted you and Papa and it was like,
I'm not sure what happened in the second half. But Zach Wilson threw for 300 yards. He actually played great in the second half.
He did.
Like the Wilson to Wilson connection or whatever you want to say. And CJ Stroud, who was leading the NFL in passing yards, he did get hurt in this. I think it was late third. But he threw for 91 yards through 3 quarters. So like he's
no fucking Tommy DeVito. I'll tell you.
Exactly. They shut him down, man. Rookie of the year, Tommy DeVito, man. He's pulling into pole position now.
Imagine like at the ESPYs, like Dable Coach of the Year, DeVito Rookie of the Year. Cutlets for everybody.
Crazy.
All right, but yeah, like no, Zach Wilson, like you talk about a fucking roller coaster.
They kind of like a report came out.
Saylor saved his job, I think.
Yeah, I think so. A report came out like that he kind of didn't want to play again or something. Like,
right.
So,
like he was like, fuck it. No, I'm not going back.
So good for him. I mean, I don't know how long it lasts, but you know, even Aaron Rodgers was like, yeah, good for him.
Yeah, I haven't.
I'm sorry. And Pat McAfee was like, oh yeah, we're very impressed with him. Like, really? When did you play quarterback?
You were a punter, motherfucker.
Exactly.
Although we do have to get our fucking tank tops on.
We do.
Before the season ends.
Exactly. All right. Lions 13 at the Bears 28. Golf and
Bears are the fucking happiest team in the NFL.
Why is that? Oh,
dude,
because
Carolina keeps fucking number 1 pick.
And Carolina keeps
they're winning games.
Yeah. So Justin Fields is probably just auditioning for some other team at this point, I think, probably.
You would guess, right? Like if they have the number 1 pick.
Because I think it's like his 5th option this year. So like they're not going to pay him fucking $30 million to like.
Right, they'll draft.
Yeah. So
Caleb Williams.
But someone he's playing himself into like he might be the Steelers quarterback next year. This game is actually close. It was 13-10 at halftime, and Jared Goff, he must have turned the ball over 10 times in the last like 3 weeks.
We're back to where the earth was flat.
Yeah. So the Bears defense. So I think they're saving. Forget about Fields and all that other shit. But I think they're saving Eberflus's job. Like their defense is like coming.
Oh no, yeah, no, they're like
so like
I don't know about Fields. Like the coach, like that staff will stay in place.
Yeah. So like but their defense, like I thought I wrote it down, but literally the second half they like punt, interception, downs, and Dan Campbell's got to like. I know we all like it when he goes for it on 4th down.
Right, but he's going to chill. Like he's 29. Like a Staley kind of like chill.
He's
like
got to chill out a little
bit.
Right.
Like, we're not playing electric football.
Exactly.
like the little foam thing where you're like, try to like.
So I'm so like hypocritical here because like I was talking about the Lions being
why hypocritical.
Why don't we like a month ago? I'm like, why aren't we talking about the Lions as one of the top elite teams? Now
they're not.
Now I'm going to say this: Lions, like, there's no way they're not in the playoffs. They win that division, they're going to be one and done. They're gonna lose at home their first game
because they're going to turn the ball over.
Right? Yeah,
because that's what they do.
Anyway. But progress.
But the fucking dumb Bears, like if you're a Bears fan, you got to be so fired up. You're getting the number 1 pick in the draft.
Yeah, and they're like, I mean, they're kind of
like, and they're probably like, no, they get number 1 and probably like number 6.
Yeah, seriously, and it depends on
they keep winning.
Exactly, just like you guys. We'll be right with you guys. Whatever you guys pick, they'll be right there.
Fucking G-Men are going to win the Super Bowl. Let's fuck it.
All right, I literally we can do this one real quick. Panthers 6 at the Saints 28. My only comment was Jimmy Graham. I think caught 2 touchdown passes in this game. I'm like, really, Jimmy Graham still fucking playing?
Yeah, and they were the throwbacks.
Right.
The Saints did, like they were like the Archie Manning.
Yeah, they did.
Right?
They did.
Did Tepper fire anyone after that game?
No, not yet. Carr threw for 119 yards and Bryce Young threw for like 136.
Wow, that's a fucking barn burner.
Exactly. But somehow there was 34 points scored in this game where there's 3 in the fucking.
But let's get to the barn burner.
All right, so that's a good segue. So here we go. Vikings 3 at the Raiders 0.
You got to be fucking kidding me. In 2023. It's an offensive league.
Dude, I made the comment to you earlier. Like, I normally have Red Zone on, but in the afternoon, there's not that much happening in Red Zone. So, like, I had,
like in the late window.
Yeah, right. I had a couple fantasy guys on Vikings, and I'm like, I'll watch the Raiders and map up or whatever. And I'm like, I kept looking for something to happen in the fucking game. The biggest plays were like missed field goals,
dude. But you know what's crazy about what? Like when every time I turn that game on, like. Even when something big happened, something shitty happened the next play. Like they hit, like the Raiders hit Hunter Renfrow for like 75 yards, and then the next play they fumbled. Right. We're all getting those fucking haircuts.
So apparently, what's his name? O'Connell is actually hurt. So like now they're trying to figure out whether to start Garoppolo, who they don't want to start.
O'Connell, like the Derek Carr doppelganger?
Yeah, okay. He's that guy. So, but now they either have to start Brian Hoyer or Garoppolo, and Antonio Pierce is saying, like, let's start Garoppolo. I want to win some fucking games.
Right.
And I'm sure Bullcut is saying, like, no.
Bullcut's saying, like, let's go down to Ralph's Manhattan Beach, see who's stocking shelves.
Exactly.
Like, I know Matthew Barkley's, like, working for the Giants, but there's probably another Matter Day guy.
All right, 2 more games. Broncos 24 at the Chargers 7. We were texting each other during this game, like literally, how does Brandon Staley still have a job?
Here's my deal or my take. The fact that the Spanos are fucking cheap.
Yeah. So
that's the only way he's coaching through the rest of this year.
Well,
but they did also, like, they had some kind of event for, like, putting former Chargers players into the Ring of Honor.
Okay.
And, like, I saw, like, Philip getting interviewed. And I was like, how is he not fucking knocking up his wife? They have 10 kids.
I was going to say, how many kids does he have now?
He's like, how, like, he takes 30 seconds, like, to do an interview? Like, shouldn't he have his 11
Shouldn't he have another kid?
Like, shouldn't he have another kid?
So
he should be fired.
So he should be. Herbert went out, I think, in the 3rd or 4th quarter,
and he had surgery today.
But he had like 91 yards passing before that. Like I texted you like how they didn't have an offensive TD for 7+ quarters.
Right, that's crazy.
With Herbert, Eckler, and Keenan Allen, how does that fucking happen?
Yeah.
Like it just this. I don't know. Anyway,
I know. You know who had more touchdowns than him?
The Giants. So
Tommy DeVito did.
We gave Denver a lot of shit earlier in the season, and we have to give them props.
I apologize every fucking week.
They have now won 6 of 7. they're in pretty good shape for like playoff position.
They could win that division, which would be fucking crazy.
Yeah, that would be crazy. Meanwhile, the Chargers are starting Easton Stick next week.
Yeah, like how about like Easton Stick is playing it? Like, is that a real name?
I don't know. I don't know what he looks like. I don't know what but yeah, they're starting Easton Stick.
Like, what's the number on the side of his helmet?
I don't know.
102. Like, he should be the first 3-digit number on the side.
All right,
Easton Stick, get the fuck out of here.
Final game. The Titans 28 at the Dolphins 27. All right, so I actually I was focused on your.
I know you blew my game off. That's all right. That's all right.
But this game got really interesting at the end. All right, so So first of all, the other Monday night game, obviously the Packers Giants were the featured game. But the Titans literally did everything they could to like lose this game. So let's rewind to last week. They had 2 blocked punts, one of which caused a fumble because the guy got there so soon that he couldn't even get his leg.
They couldn't catch it.
Exactly.
They couldn't punt it.
So that's what their special teams did. So
that's not even a block punt. That's like a fumble.
Exactly. That's what they called it. So anyway, so it's 13-13. And
now we're talking about last week, right?
We're talking about this week.
Okay.
So it's 13-13. Miami punts, and literally the guy bounces once. He tries to grab it, and of course he doesn't. They recover. Miami covers at the fucking 4, runs it in the next play is 20-13. Next drive, they kick off to fucking Tennessee. Levis does this weird fucking tries to do this lateral or something to Derrick Henry.
Oh, yeah, that was a disaster.
It was a disaster. Fumble. Miami gets the ball back and scores 3 plays later. It's 27-13. So, I'm like, this game is over, right? So I just kind of stopped paying attention to it.
And you went back to Tommy DeVito.
Exactly.
I want to see a fucking real star.
The Titans had 2 touchdowns in 4.5 minutes to win the game. I'm like, are you kidding me? What the
Dude, and I texted you and Pup, and I was like, after the second touchdown, Will Levis, he is fucking that. If there's any dude in the NFL on steroids, it's him. He was fucking raging.
That was the knock on him coming out. He was too buff.
Right, but did you see? Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
When he came off the field, it is the
veins,
carotid arteries are fucking busted out of his neck.
So the Dolphins, who could have kept the number 1 seed, now are number 2, I guess. The Bills are out of it from the division, I think. But here's the thing: Tyreek Hill got hurt in this game, and
his wife told him to get back in.
And all I can say is literally he is MVP because literally as soon as he went out, Tua was fucking lost. He had no one to throw the ball to. Right. He didn't know what the fuck he was doing. So that just shows you how much he means.
How is that guy always open?
Because he's fucking fast.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what, after that loss, no one's wearing those fucking Lululemons.
No, exactly.
I liked them last week. I'm like, fuck it.
We're done with those.
This week, I'm not fucking wearing them.
We're done with those.
I'm fucking going to get fat like Dable.
We started wearing real sweatpants.
Right. I'm going to just get fat, put that fucking ski cap on, fucking forget about it.
That's all I got, man. What do you got? What else? I didn't even want to talk about the Giants for another hour, but
no, that's all I got. Okay. We'll check back in next week.
Right,
because if they win, if he wins the 4th game in a row,
dude, I'm gonna be at 10.
We're all gonna go fucking fly to Jersey and get some pork roll.
I'm gonna watch fucking Twins that night.
It's a Giants house. What am I, a Mirage? What am I, on the pay no mind list?
All right, guys.
Get the papers.
All right, guys.
We'll see you guys next week.
Talk to you next week. Out.
Adios.